Hello guys, welcome to episode 5 of this series, and so far as I can see, it's been going pretty good as far as response is concerned and people enjoying it is concerned, so that's all good. But on the other hand, as you can see from last episode, it hasn't been going very well at all in terms of the average number of keys per signet, which should be 64, but it's more like 190 because we got our first two signets on the board last time, but it cost us 383 keys, and most of that was from Sextus, for which we still haven't got the signet yet. So that's what we'll start off with this episode. Let's go. As far as cash is concerned for this episode, there's not really much of a problem, guys, because yeah, it's been a good few months that I've had to collect a lot of stuff from. As you know, the rule is to only use the money from PVM in this, so well, that's pretty much what I use, because that's pretty much what I do to get money. As you can see, there's tons of stuff we got, mostly from our next series and also away from the next series, and probably the highlight the highlight was probably the CS hilt, the first hilt of my life, and we got it at the 1k sub event, and also the karma based Virtus Robe legs. If you guys don't know the story, I won't talk about it here, but you can check out episode 6 of Dotha Even Nextbro for that at the very end of that vid. Basically, the Crusher died. We got crashed, but the Crusher died just before Next died. But they got Virtus Robe legs, and they couldn't get back in time, so I picked it up. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna collect all the cash, like count up all the cash, because okay, I know I've said this before for Sextus, and I've jinxed it because I used 220 keys without a single signet. Well, I didn't expect that, but hopefully this time I went, for the simple reason that I won't need to like count the cash, so I don't run out of cash to buy all the keys with. For the simple reason that I've got more cash in this episode, and I don't intend to get. I only have two more keys to get, so almost got Sextus. Well, almost. I'm saying that, but it's completely random. I used 220 keys. Hopefully, I get it soon. And then all I have remaining after that is Quintus, which is the costliest key, but I've got so much cash, so hopefully I don't need to worry about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of summary of the clips. There's a lot more. Hopefully there will be a lot more cash. I think I checked it, yeah, there's a lot more cash than this. Like from next, the regular drops actually are quite valuable, so there's like about 30 more from that, and also from KK for the same reason, and Slayer, the odd Slayer task that I do or whatever. So there's a lot of cash apart from what you see on screen, so that should hopefully be enough. I keep saying that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, Sextus, the bane of my life, but yeah, I have to buy some more keys. And as you saw from the previous set of clips, I guess I've got more than enough money to buy at least 100. Even 100 won't be enough, knowing what happened last time. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of money to be able to spend with evidence of having gained that from PVM. So let's just use about 40 something K for it, 40 something K of it. To buy Sextus keys, so let's buy 100, and actually let me just check the margins, because it's always a good idea to do that, seeing as you want to save as much money as possible. So it's not buying at 433, that's not good. Let's see, this is what I tend to do if I'm buying a lot of something. And if I'm buying a high value item, I tend to use FCs like Next and SS and Draggle PCs, which is now renamed as 90 Reps PC. So that bought for that much. I'm trying to buy it again. Let me sell it, because I don't need to know the buy price, I need to know the sell price. So
So 423308. So let's buy 100 of those. And yeah. Good luck to us at Sextus, I guess. Let's go.
For once I was right. Yeah, it took us only 8 more keys to get it. And finally, we have got the Sextus signet, the single biggest pain in the backside of my life. Well, not exactly, but let's not get into that. That took a while, but eventually we got it, and here is the upgraded summary of what the things are we have now. So we have 3 signets, 2 of which I got using my cash, 1 of which was using Sewmo's cash, and 228 Sextus keys. We finally got that signet, so I've only got 1 more signet to get, and we've used up a total of 391 keys. So on to the next signet.
The end of Primus! After 13 kills, lucky this time, we got the signet, so I still had 9 keys left to sell, and I managed to get more than I expected and more than I paid for, so that was very good. And I now have 8 mil from remaining of the keys and 1 mil that I will now go for Quartus keys. I don't think Zen suspects anything yet. Anyway, catch you during Quartus. With the 9 mil I will now buy the Quartus keys, which I hope I will manage to acquire a few of them, and I just did something wrong. So, Quartus keys, hopefully, yeah, good. I didn't check the margins, but I hope they're about where the GE price is, so that should get me a few keys. And apparently not, so be right back. So apparently the margins for Quartus keys are a little bit higher than the GE price, as they go for over 400k. So I will simply put in an offer and hope it insta-buys, or then buys more or less quickly over time. And yeah, that means some Quartus skills coming soon. As you can see, the keys finally bought, so that means we have about 25 Quartus skills now. Let's hope a signet as well. Okay, to start this off properly, I thought I would first explain where the extra 1 mil came from. When I was selling back the Primus skills and there was 1 extra mil in my money pouch, and it didn't make any sense because I didn't have that much there before. So that was basically from QED trips that I did when I was trying to recharge my Royal Crossbow, and I did a few kills. So here's 2 examples of my loot that I got, and I think there was like 4 or 5 kills, and it got me about 1 mil cash. And besides that, there was the Primus keys that got me 8 mil. So that was for the first buying of the keys. And now to go on to the second batch. That would be some loot from Ascension dungeon, as usual, for lately. So here's the trades from Zen when he gave me the loot besides the cash loots. And that together came to about 3 mil. So there is 3 extra mil to spend on keys now. However, that is not all. There's a little surprise left, and that was 1 Quintus key. I know Quintus is not my keys and all, but a friend of mine went to the dungeon and she got the Quintus key, so she offered to sell it to me for half the price. And here's the actual trade that we did. I managed to convince her to at least give her 699k, which she took. So let's hope this is the lucky Quintus key, which you shall see later on in the series. Hello, as you can see I have 25 keys already from before and one that I just bought for testing out the price. And I still have 3 mil left over, so I will just see how many keys I can get with all that money and hope it's as much as possible. Well, if I manage to get them about the price of the previous one, nah, I should be able to get 6. 4 so far. I will wait a little bit to see if they buy. And apparently they bought, so I now have 32 keys. So hopefully that's enough.
Okay guys, you may be wondering, first of all, how Sewmo had 25 keys in her inventory instead of the 22 which she bought in the first half of those clips you just saw. Those are because we got 3 from like drops from around the dungeon and from Sextus and stuff. So we got 3 extra keys there and we used them up. And well, nope, nothing, no brownie points for guessing. Yep, nothing whatsoever, so that's not very promising since we used up 31 Quartus keys there and we didn't get anything, but hey, that's been the rule of thumb for this series so far. Go with Zen and you have 0 luck, at least at Ascension Dungeon, because we had plenty of luck in elsewhere, as you saw from the clips at the very start of this vid to show the cash that I got from PVM. So, on to Quintus, let's go. Finally, anyway, here you can see Ascension Signet 6. That means that these little beasts are redundant. Time to sell them off and get Quintus keys, which is the last key that I need to get, and also I believe the most expensive set of keys. So let's put this in for 485k, same price as what I bought it for. It'll take a while to sell, but never mind, I'll leave it there. Primus, as you can see, Quintus I mean, as you can see, Quintus key is 883k. Now let's just check the margins, because that's always a good idea, so that we don't waste unnecessary money. 883, 740 is the max. What's the min? 868. Okay, so let's buy it for 870 something, just about in the middle, because I don't want to spend all day trying to get them. So I don't know, 873k. Let's buy 100 of those and let's go. Now, they'll take a while to buy, but anyway, after we buy this, we'll go and camp them. Hopefully not for long, because Quintus is one of the harder ones. So they added the Sirenic scales into the game, and I was quite hyped up about that. I thought they would sell for quite a lot and they'd be quite common and stuff, but turns out they're not very common at all. They're really uncommon, and we got 100 Quintus keys, as you saw. Well, as you saw from the number of keys I bought, but also something you wouldn't have seen is that we got 3 Quintus keys from drops strewn around. I didn't record all of it, but here's a couple of them in the background, and we also got 2 Sirenic scales, which didn't sell for very much, but we did split the cash between us. I think it was 4 mil for the first one and 3 mil for the second one or something, and so 2 mil and plus 1 mil, 1.5 mil split, so 3.5 mil each or something. But that wasn't much, as you saw. And the main event, well, after 103 keys, as you see by the summary, we have no signet. And the worst part of this is, even though it's not even half of the number of Sextus keys it took us to get the signet. The worrying thing is the key is more than twice as costly as the Sextus key, so I've spent more on Quintus, even though I've only actually spent I only actually bought 100 keys. I've spent more on Quintus than I have on 228 Sextus keys, so that's very worrying, guys. I'll probably be broke by the end of this series, but one encouraging thing is that it's a last signet I need to get, because there are other two Sewmos that she needs to buy the keys for, so hopefully after this one I won't need to spend any more money and I'll just be gaining it. So yeah, that's encouraging, but no progress made as expected to pros. Time to splash out another 87 odd mil. Oh, great. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do again. Hope, but you can't say anything. Just gotta hope, and hopefully we get it. After suffering much hardship at the hands of Quintus, seeing as the kills were the slowest, because of the lines and stuff, so it did take us a long time to kill Quintus in terms of on average, and also the number of deaths we got. On top of that, they added the degrading thing to degradable armor, like when you die you lose 20% and 10% for like armor that degrades to dust, 20% for armor that you can repair, so that cost a lot of money. It's been steadily getting worse, but eventually, yep. Here, let's just show you guys.
Signet.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't get the message.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. I told you it's the last trip.
Okay, guys, finally I've got that signet as you saw, and here it is. Pink one, yay. But it's also the one I've spent the most cash on. I haven't done the maths properly yet, but I believe it's around 111 mil I've spent on just Quintus keys, and around 211 mil altogether, but I'll go into that more at the end of the video. But for now, let's sell off the remaining 70. I'll just put it for that price. Whoa, wow. Almost sold instantly. Okay, at least I made a small profit there. But yeah, I sold almost, wait, let me see. I've sold 68 for about 20k extra each, 25k extra each than what I bought it for, so that was good. Now on to Sewmo. She has to buy the rest of the keys for the two remaining signets, and here is her share of the loot that we got from the 30 or so Quintus that we killed just now before we got the signet, and another Sextus key for her.
Secundus key.
Sorry, Secundus. Still on Sextus, aren't I? Yeah, very nice.
Oh yeah, all mine now, all mine.
On to Secundus and Quartus, guys.
Oh yeah.
And I'm afraid you're gonna have to ask your excitement to wait for episode 6, because it's dragged on quite long as it is, and I didn't want to do those two. So next episode will be entirely Sewmo's, but this episode, let's just have a look at the summary. Now I've only spent I've only bought 130 Quintus keys, but 113.5 mil spent on Quintus keys, which is almost 1.5 times the amount, 50% more than how much I spent on Sextus keys. And seeing as the price of Ascensions as I make this is about 260, as I make this vid, 260 mil offhand or main hand, I'll get 130 mil, 50-50, because that's the rule. We're gonna split it 50-50 once we make the bow. I'll get 130 mil, but I've spent 230 mil, as you can see. So basically all the money, as you can see, it says 290 mil spent, but minus 61 mil or so, because that's Sewmo's spending. Oh, actually 215 mil or so actually, because Sewmo spent about 75 mil. So yeah, 225 mil or so I've spent, and I'll get 130 back. So I make almost 100 mil loss, even more possibly, because Ascensions are dropping again. So yeah, that's not good. But on the other hand, on a positive note, always end on a positive note, I guess. On a positive note, we've got 4 out of 6 signets, which was way beyond what I was thinking. Like last episode, at the start of last episode, we didn't get any of the signets, I think. So it's a good improvement on that part. But yeah, ending this episode on a positive note and looking forward to the next one, in which we should hopefully get all 6, because that would be awesome. And also we've got to do TDs, which I haven't done for ages, so I don't know how we're going to manage, but we're to pros. We'll manage, guys, we'll manage.